Hey guys, what's going on? It's Jordan. I'm gonna make this video because I get this question a lot, and it's basically just for like brand new people to like transitioning, and if you're wondering, you know, this is all new to you, be it because, well, probably just because, um, you've wondered about it, or you've thought about doing this for a really long time, and you're just starting to find people like myself on YouTube or whatever, then this is probably going to be a video that I attach to responses. Rather than write this out, I write this out all the time, and it's just occurred to me to just like make a video because it's simpler. So so one thing people ask me all the time is, like how do they get started? They want to know information about what to expect on hormones, and if what how I feel, how I started out. So I'm just kind of rant, do what I do best, and I'm just gonna go off on a tangent. And I'm sorry if it gets a little off track, but there's a lot of questions I get that might vary, and so I might be jumping over a little bit. But okay, so the very first thing is if you're just figuring this out about yourself or whatever, I want to say congratulations. It takes a really strong, not person but personality to first admit this to yourself, to be truthful with yourself, who you are. And it's a very scary time in your life right now, so just know that there are tons of people out there. We're not the majority by any means, but um, I mean, this is real, and it's not just you. And I get like 4 emails a day from people about and that's just they. A lot of people come to me because they like who I am within my gender, like within being trans, within being male to female. Um, they like how I've retained my maleness, kind of. I'm like like a tomboy transgender, um, so yeah, congratulations and thanks for viewing this. So first off, the steps that you need to take in early, like a lot of people are afraid of getting counseling. Don't be. Like, you have to get it if you want to do this. Like, you have to have like 3 or more months of counseling to get your letter for a recommendation for hormone replacement therapy, which works, right? You can't tell, but I'm 6'1.5". When I started this, I was like 185 pounds. I'm 156 now, which feels good to say. And so hormones are, a miracle. It's like a fountain of. I'm also 26. I'm almost 27. So I mean, people still get blown away by that. So yeah, whether it's you come out to your parents and they say, well, you're going to counseling, or you're going to school and you can go see a free counselor, like, go do it, because if they can help you and help you realize that yes, you are trans, or no, you're not, you need to go see a counselor. So right off the bat, that's step one, I'd say. For those of you who know that you're trans, know that this is something you've always wanted to do. um, you you know there's no real needing to convince yourself, or trying to see if this is actually what you want. Then go into that counseling with that attitude. When I started my counseling, I didn't have not people like me, but I didn't have the knowledge of what my gender was, of the steps to take. And so I actually thought that the the therapist had to diagnose me as trans. I thought it was like a trick. Thought I had to trick them into thinking they figured me out, and oh, guess what? You should have been a girl, and we're gonna fix that. And I actually think that's the stance a lot of trans people have, because it's I think you go through your life feeling that you're wrong, or that you're like you're weird, and so you don't want to ever come out and say it. But don't be like, I'm not saying. People ask me to go to Pride all the time too. I'm not saying like be proud, be out there. I'm just saying that if you know this is you, then go into that counseling session and be like, I believe I'm transgender. I believe I have gender identity dysphoria, which is what it's called. Um, and I'm here to get my letter of recommendation for hormone replacement therapy and be specific and also let the counselor. I don't know what to call them. I hate saying like psychiatrist, but it's a lot of times what it is. Sorry, my phone's beeping. Um, but be specific and also tell them, say, you know what, if you don't have the experience or the expertise in this field, then I need you to tell me right now who to get in touch with, because I went to my counselor. Like I said, I was like, okay, you figure me out. And after about 2.5 months, we had established that we both knew I was trans. And I said, okay, well, I know I need 3 months of therapy before I can get my letter. So can you give that to me next session or what? And he said, well, I thought you were here for, depression. And he thought, the trans was just, the reason. But he was treating me to not be depressed anymore. And so I had to go see a whole different therapist for 3 months, and it was just a pain in the ass. So when you do this, be sure, be strong and say, I'm here for these reasons. I know who I am. You should be smarter than the doctor when you go in there, because you don't need to learn anything. You know it all for the most part. Unless you need to figure shit out, then please do. Like, I'm not saying be gung ho. Everyone's not going to be like that, but it definitely helps if you know what you're talking about, because then the doctor's not going to waste sessions on you trying to tell you about timelines and well, this, you should expect this. Just run the show in there. Okay, so after you've been there for 3 months, they will give you their letter of recommendation that you have qualified for the hormone replacement therapy, and that is like birthday, Christmas. It's so awesome, because then you take that little slip of paper, and then you have to go to like a doctor. Like, you actually have to go to, because it's not a prescription. It's just a recommendation from a therapist. And you go to a doctor and you show them that, and they will write you a prescription for so many months worth of hormones. And you'll have to actually keep up with this doctor, because hormones have some complications, but just like anything, it's like the fast talkers at the end of like you know Ambisol or everything has side effects. So it's mainly like liver, kidneys, and but no one gets these side effects. So you go to the doctor, and then you get your hormones, and you can either have orals, just like pills, um, injectables, which you take once a month, but the doctor gives them to you. I used to think you got your own needle set. I don't think that's the case. You go once a month, and you get like a booster shot, and then you ride that hormone wave for a month, and then you come back and get another one. So I like the orals, because I feel like I can control, like, as someone who plays a lot of sports. If I have if I have a soccer game, I'm gonna take an extra testosterone blocker, because I feel a little more pumped afterwards. I feel a little more like amped up. And likewise, like with like, if you get a huge boost of estrogen, you're gonna fucking be a little bitch for a little bit. Like, I still have my super mood swings now. So but that's basically it. And then you play the waiting game for a pretty long time, and you just look in the mirror every day, and you won't notice very much for a while, but you're on your way. And it's a slow time, but um, it'll come, and it happens. And if you've seen my transition video or anyone else's, I mean, look at anyone. The hormones are amazing. Like, I used to be so afraid, because I was big and I was strong, and I was animalistic and alpha, and I just didn't think that I was gonna get affected that much. And God, they work. If I could have started when I was like 20 instead of 25, before 5 years more of puberty, I would have been so successful in my transition. And not to say that older people can't succeed. I've known a bunch of beautiful older trans women. So, but that's basically the first couple steps as to getting your hormones and seeing a psychologist. So, good luck.